Hi, I'm Sam Jett, President of the Northfield Lacrosse Association, and I'm here with Natalie Marfleet, the association's treasurer and a fellow board member. And we're making this video to provide some information about the 2015 lacrosse season in Northfield, some changes that are taking place compared to how we've done it in the past and why that is. And we're going to start by talking about spring versus summer. In the past, Northfield has always focused on a spring lacrosse season. And we've done that for a number of reasons, primarily because we had limited resources and we had to focus on getting the primary season, what we thought was the primary season in place, and we did that for the last, how many years has it been?
Geez, 6?
It seems like
This will be our sixth season.
Yeah. What we're finding is that the sport is evolving, and it's evolving in Minnesota to where it's more of a summer sport with a late spring season start. And that's happening for a number of reasons. One is the weather. The last couple of years, Natalie, we've had some horrific experiences.
Yes, we have.
In the spring, cold, rain, snow in May.
Snow in May.
And so we've had cancellations, rescheduling has been difficult. That's, of course, not just affected us, but all the associations in Minnesota. And so what we've found is that our fellow associations around the state have decided to move more towards a summer season. And they've always played in the summer, as have we, in a limited capacity.
Right.
So we're moving more towards a summer season with a late spring start. In addition to weather, we have facilities issues. We've had to rent space in the area in order to find a place to practice because the fields weren't ready on time for us to use, and that costs money. So that's been an issue as well. Perhaps most importantly, having a season that is primarily in the summer and one that starts in the spring allows our players to develop their skills, allows them to spend more time practicing before the games begin, and simply allows them to have a better experience. So this is what's going on in lacrosse around the state, and most associations in southern Minnesota are moving to a scheduling model where the season will start in the late spring and then continue on into the summer. And here's how this will work. For the boys, practices will begin in April when the weather permits. And during the month of May, we'll have a series of scrimmages with other teams around the state. Those will all be on the weekend. Some of those could be at home. Some of those will be at other fields around the state. Probably, 3 to 6 are we thinking?
Figuring 3 weekends, up to 6 games, depending on how we can schedule them.
Okay, so up to 6 games, again, scrimmages, which will allow our players time to practice, time to work together as a team and improve their skills and be ready for the summer season, which starts for first or second week in June and continues through the end of July. And during the summer season for the boys, the teams will almost primarily play Monday through Thursday. No Friday night games, no weekend games, and they'll practice a couple of times a week and have games, probably 8 to 10 games, I would think, during the summer season. So for the boys, April practices, May scrimmages and practices, and then June and July games, with the whole season over by essentially the end of July or the first couple of days in August. On the girls' side, it would be similar. The girls don't just play on the weekend in the spring, they play on weeknights as well, but they'll have a similar arrangement where they'll practice in April, play some scrimmages in May, maybe a tournament. I think they do typically a tournament at the end of May.
As do the boys.
As do the boys.
Not at the end of May, though, but at the end of the season.
Right.
At the end of the summer season.
At the end of the summer season, that's correct. And then the girls, too, will play their season games during the summer on mostly on weeknights, I believe.
That's my understanding.
And I think that, again, this is something that all the associations are moving towards in order to take advantage of the better weather, to have more time to practice, to have more time to figure out the teams, and because a lot of associations have A and B level teams, they've got to have tryouts, they've got to figure out who's on which team. Our association typically has had one team at each level. We did have two U13 teams last year, but we kept them both B-level teams primarily, and had a 7th grade team and a 6th grade team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's practical reasons to do this. There's developmental reasons to do it. There's financial reasons to do it. It's something that everybody is moving towards, and I think it makes sense. And to summarize again, the benefits for our players and for the program as a result of this change: number one, it allows us to have a longer season, more time for our players to improve their skills. They get to practice more before the actual games begin. They will play the games in better weather. It'll be a better experience for both the fans and the players. And we'll be able to do it all at a cost for our families here in Northfield that's comparable to what we've charged before. And Natalie, do you want to talk a little bit about why that is?
Yes, we have a couple of reasons why we will be able to actually hold the line on the fees for the players. They include the fact that going forward, we will retain the uniforms for the U15, U13, and U11 teams. So we'll be able to invest in those uniforms and utilize those for multiple seasons. And then additionally, when we don't play in inclement weather, or we don't try and play when it's not nice outside, we are going to actually be able to limit the amount we spend on facilities rentals. So literally 2 years ago, we spent more than $3,000 trying to help our players have enough practice time and renting indoor space, and that was an enormous expense. With a season that is prolonged and where our scrimmages don't start until May, we will be able to reduce our facilities rental. So that's how we've been able to hold the line on the actual player registration fees.
Thank you. So there's some important dates coming up that you need to remember. First of all, Monday, January 12th at 7 p.m. at the Northfield Middle School, we're going to have an information meeting for our lacrosse families and for anybody that's interested in the sport to come and learn more, to ask questions about this change in schedule, or any other questions that they may have. So that's Monday, January 12th at 7 p.m. at the Northfield Middle School. There'll be an additional parent meeting on Saturday, February 14th at 10 o'clock in the morning, again at the middle school, where we'll have more information and go through details about the upcoming season, volunteers, opportunities, fundraisers, and so on and so forth. March 1st will be our early registration discount deadline, and Sunday, March 8th will be our annual card sale fundraiser. So those are important dates to remember. We'll have that on the website, and we'd ask you between now and then to please visit the website, northfieldlacrosse.com, often for updates and information about the upcoming season. Online registration does begin the first week in January. So you'll be able to register even before any of these meetings if you'd like to do so. But if you have questions about the new schedule, then please come to the meeting on January 12th, and we thank you.
Thank you.